What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Central. And the Knicks pick up a win. Finally, I get to talk about a win on the channel because they've lost ever since I started up this channel, funny enough. But they win 110-96 over the Philadelphia 76ers, which it definitely was a little bit of a cardiac Knicks moment because that's just the way that this team is no matter what. But I will say it was nice to see them actually a little bit healthier for once, even though Hartenstein was limited with minutes. It was nice to see him play. Bogdanovich getting back in the lineup, looking really good, might I add. And then on top of that, you get Donte DiVincenzo back in the lineup, making a difference. Just a lot better to see what this team is like when they're healthier. And now that the All-Star break has ended, they needed this. And if anything, I'm sure they would love for the All-Star break to go even longer because Mitchell Robinson, we're seeing reports that he's out of the walking boot now, which that's definitely interesting. All of a sudden, Mitchell Robinson comes back and gets into this rotation. That's going to make a big difference. Hartenstein, once he ramps up, that's going to make a big difference. And then there's still Randall who's going to come back. He's probably not going to be 100% the rest of the year, but he will come back. And then OG as well is going to come back, who's going to ramp up. But right now, I'm happy with this win. Before we jump into the recap fully, leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Knicks fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live on the channel. But yeah, just a lot to love in this game in terms of just what they got, especially from the bench with Bojan Bogdanovich. Like, I think that's the biggest elephant in the room is that Bojan Bogdanovich, who hasn't really had that much of an impressive game with the Knicks. He was pretty good in his debut, but we wanted to see more from him off the bench. It's like we need him to start getting some more buckets, especially because his team has been lacking that. And he got buckets, all right. He had 22 points, leading the Knicks in points tonight. Didn't get an assist on the night, which is just odd, but he was getting some huge clutch threes in this game, especially late when the Knicks really needed those clutch threes. And I think before the half, too, he had a couple of clutch threes. I don't know. My mind's in a blender because I had to try and watch the Knicks and the Rangers at the same time here. But yeah, Bojan Bogdanovich was huge. I watched Alec Burks, though, stink up the joint, and, you know, that's something that is disappointing, is that Burks has just not been good. I mean, he had, like, he was terrible, especially in the second half. Oof, oof with Alec Burks. I don't know what more to say there. I mean, he went 50% from downtown, which isn't bad, but 40% from the field, which doesn't sound bad, but he had 5 attempts. He has just not been great, but Bojan Bogdanovich was great. I want to talk about him. Jericho Sims as well. How about that? Hartenstein limited on the minutes he could play. Jericho Sims has to step in and play a couple more minutes, and he does just that, getting 10 rebounds on the night, getting a couple points as well. Looked good defensively. Loved what I saw there. Deuce McBride underratedly was good because when things were looking bad with Burks, Tibbs decides to leave Deuce McBride in the game. That makes a big difference there. Donte DiVincenzo heated up a little bit towards the end, got some big buckets late, and he's only going to get better. He was 4 for 11 from downtown. That you could expect to be better from Donte DiVincenzo. And I'm not saying that he's going to be perfect and the most efficient shooter every night. That's just not who he is. You guys know that. We know that. But he had himself good enough of a game in terms of just stepping up in the clutch when it mattered. Precious Achiuwa was great. Brunson didn't even have the best game that he possibly could, but you know what? He still dropped 21 on the night, which I accidentally messed up in the graphic and put 20 because I looked as plus minus by accident when I was putting those in, but he dropped 21 on the night. So he had himself a very good game still, nonetheless. And I accidentally messed up some of the points here. I'm just realizing Sims points. I accidentally put 7 because I read Burks. Ignore the graphic mess up. I cannot believe I messed up that bad with the graphic. But regardless, yeah, just Precious Achiuwa had a very good night in this one. The Knicks were they were better in the paint in terms of their defense too. They still had 54 points, which does suck, but you know, offensively they were better in the paint in terms of getting those second chance points. They were still good in transition as well. The only issue really was that they did turn the ball over quite a bit in this game, especially Brunson, who had 7 turnovers. That's a problem, but we know that he's capable of being better. We know Brunson is going to be better than what he was tonight, and the Knicks still got a big win like this. So Who am I to complain? But I'm sorry that I messed up the graphic. I'm sorry that I'm all over the place. It's tough when I have to watch these double headers. But let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section down below. Would love to hear from you guys. Don't forget to leave a like if you haven't already. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Very happy with this. The way that they played on both sides of the ball was great. Outside of Burks, I didn't like his offensive effort. But outside of that, I love what I saw from the Knicks in this game. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.